Hello farmers, welcome to the backyard farms. My name's are Eric. Hope you're having. So basically in Kenya for like the last 1 year, or maybe a few months this year, we've been having a debate concerning genetically modified organisms or GMOs. Genetically modified organisms or genetically modified as in plants or in another way animals. We've been having this discussion with the government approving the importation of GMOs, and after that we saw that the importation was stopped by an order of the High Court. I believe the case is still ongoing, so we follow it up and see the conclusion to the case. So as a farmer, because basically personally my background is in research, I'm a researcher by profession, so I try to embark on research so that I can find out myself, because some of these things, let's not rely so much on our politicians, because basically our politicians will tell us what they need us to hear. Yes, not what we should hear. Some of these things, it's best that you do your own research. It's best that you go out and seek information, seek knowledge, and then after seeking knowledge, you can make your own informed choices as an informed citizen. So basically, to begin it with, what are these genetically modified organisms? Currently, we are standing in these are just local varieties, traditional varieties of millet that we currently grow on our farm in Busia County. Yeah, these are not genetically modified. These are just natural. We just preserve the seeds at the end of each and every harvest, and then the next harvest we have enough seed that we can plant for the next crop. So, and that's what we have been doing for generations. That's basically what we've been doing. So, to understand genetically modified organisms, these are essentially organisms that are natural to begin with, but they have been altered scientifically, in that part of their genetic makeup has been removed and another scientific gene has been inserted into the organism. Let's say, for example, maize. We find that another gene has been inserted in maize. In terms of cassava, we found that another gene has been inserted into cassava, thereby making the organism genetically modified, in that it's not a natural organism. It's basically genetically modified. So you may be asking yourself, why these genetically modified organisms? The justification that scientists have been giving us is that these genetically modified organisms are the solution to the drought, to failed harvest, to prolonged dry spells that we have been witnessing in our farms. So they are saying that this is the solution that we as farmers should engage in. So maybe you're asking yourself, is this true? Is this the solution? Because once the genes are altered, you find that the genetically modified crops, they grow much faster. They are resistant to a few diseases. We have genetically resistant cotton that's resistant to a few diseases. We have genetically modified maize that's resistant to some type of worms that do destroy the maize crop. But basically, as farmers, what are the advantages and disadvantages of these GMOs? First of all, to begin with, when it comes to the advantages, we find that these crops are resistant to a number of diseases that naturally our natural crops do struggle with. They are also a bit resistant to climatic conditions because they may be altered to grow faster. I think when it comes to advantages, that should be the end. After that, we may be asking ourselves, what about the disadvantages? The disadvantages include that there is no general consensus between the scientists on whether we should adopt this genetically modified organism or whether we should not. Because a few scientists say, no, we should not adopt them. Other scientists say we should adopt them. So where is the you can see this beautiful crop of cassava, that's millet. So basically, as we continue with the discussion about GMOs, you can see these are sweet potatoes. These are sweet potatoes, natural ones, natural grown. The seeds are natural. We just conserve them. We just preserve them for the next season. When it comes to the disadvantages, we have the biggest disadvantage is that, first of all, the cost of the seeds. Basically it's higher to farmers who maybe do not count seeds as part of their cost, because maybe they preserve their seeds, and then when it comes to another planting season, they just take out the seeds from where they have preserved them and go on and plant. Two, we have the fact that farmers may not be able to develop their own seeds out of the GMO seeds, largely because of copyright issues with the GMO seeds, because they'll be patented. So basically you cannot produce your own seeds. It will be against the law. It will be illegal. Thirdly, the fact that there are so many health issues concerning genetically modified organisms that have not been clarified. They have not been clarified. So as consumers, we are not sure whether these genetically modified organisms are safe for consumption or whether they are not safe for consumption. Basically, those are the disadvantages. So maybe you may be asking yourself, what's now your opinion, or my own opinion as Eric? What's my opinion? Basically, I believe that with good agricultural practices like conserving, having water pumps, conserving waters in places that are dry, irrigation, building irrigation channels in places that are far off, maybe from water sources, can help us mitigate effects of drought. When it comes to preservation, we can have improved methods of preservation of our seeds, basically by ensuring that they are dry before storing to avoid contamination. After that, we can also ensure that we have support from the government, because basically if the government supports local farmers, we can, as farmers, just rely on our own farming. There's no need for us to rely on genetically modified organisms. So I believe that's my take as Eric. You can also have your take, and I'm encouraging you to have your take. Have your own research, do your own research, read widely, because basically Right now, knowledge is available everywhere. You Google anything, you find. You go to YouTube, you find videos that you can listen to. So basically, knowledge is at your fingertips. Do not let politicians mislead you or misadvise you. So thank you, and have a nice day.